Model year 18 300RR beta, getting zen with my new beta. Okay, talked about it in the past. Fan kit time. I thought I'd go ahead and get it. So what I went with is the Trailtech Universal Fan Kit. And this gives me the flexibility to mount this fan exactly the way I want to. And here's what comes in that kit. A whole bunch of doodads here. Good quality fan. It's automotive grade, and of course it's replaceable. All the parts that you need, you can see they mount it. Got a picture of it mounting with these little zip ties, which you could do it. You can mount it directly to your radiator. In my case, and I'm going to show you a picture here. You should see a picture now of the radiator guard, the Enduro Engineering one that I used, which is not the strongest in the world, but it works well for me. How I can mount it to there. So here's what I ended up doing. So you can see here, here's the fan mounted. I mounted it, drilled and tapped holes to the existing radiator guard, and then I went and added this piece across. And I'm still looking at that nut. I'm not sure if that, or that bolt, I'm not sure if that bolt's going to fit or not. We're going to check clearance on that. But this is a two-piece guard for the radiator brace. So it comes off there, and it comes off down here, so I had to make it so this would come apart as well. So I riveted a piece on there. So the whole thing is designed so that the fan could come off completely if I didn't want it on there, and I could do that without taking the radiator brace off again. So this is just a little piece of aluminum I got from the Orange hardware store, and just fabricated it up, drilled and tapped. A while ago I bought myself a nice set of metric taps and tap drills to go with it, which I highly recommend. We're always dealing with metric. My metric screws now come from any Japanese or metric machine that I take apart or throw away. I keep the hardware from. So I have a bucket of metric goodies there, and that works out phenomenally. So the next piece here, that's going to be for the gauge. You get your nice gauge, which is you can set the temp on there. We'll see what we do with that. So I'm going to fit this whole thing on the bike, and then this piece will sit in here, something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back on the bike, and we're going to have a look at it. But again, we're having fun with this one. This one uses a thermocouple that goes into the radiator fins to pick up the heat, so I don't have to tap into the coolant and all these other zip tie things we won't be using, and extensions. Mounts directly to your battery, and then it is fused, so we're not going to use the factory harness for that. So we can, again, keep it separate. I like to be able to do that. So we'll be back in a second. Okay, so here's the fit up on the bike. It actually fit up great. Again, I'm not sure about this. We'll know in a second when we put the tank on. But everything back there clears well. It's down where it should be. Let's put the tank on and have a look, and then we can take a look at where we're going to put our meter. I bent this about 22 degrees. We're going to see, and we might bend it in a little more. But all right, back soon. All right, with the tank back on, things are looking pretty good. That little screw up there, no problem, fits in. If we can see that, our focus always goes out, but fits in good. I'm going to resize that bolt. I made all the bolts flush, so if anything gets hit, they don't end up being a spear. And then I'm not super thrilled with this. It's a little tight on space, and actually, if you see here, if we bring it out, I mean, I'd have to bend it more, and I can't get at the button. So I'm going to do a little change with that. Hang tight. Okay, this is what we ended up with here. You can see fan tucked in nice. No wires. Temp sensor, I can get at the button. Follows the shape of the bike. Tank goes on easy. Let me pull that off. I should be able to grab that with one hand. Yep, it's empty now. But set that aside. The bracket, I actually bent it back and it's tilted up. I've got 2 rivets in there. Wiring all sits behind. There's the copper thing, that's the sensor. You can see that right there. Wiring goes back behind, files the wiring harness back up through the beta guide there and into the battery. Got the caps on, and it comes with a fuse, of which, thought of today, I'm going to put a couple fuses in my go bag, because what if a fuse goes? Well, probably not going to start because we don't have one of them Kickstarters. You'll notice my skid plate's on the ground here because I took it off. We'll make a little mod to that too. We'll talk about that later. So, 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see how it goes. It's going to get real hot this week. And that's it. So subscribe. This has been a great build. I'm real happy with it. Put a little wicking Loctite on everything. Holds those screws in place. Easy to take on and off. Alright. Subscribe. Thanks much.